Hey everyone, this is a UFC video I'm making. I've done predictions, but I haven't really talked about my feelings towards MMA and UFC and other, I say UFC because they're pretty much on top of the MMA world right now as far as viewers, and but they do have some good competition coming up, and hopefully they can get it together and, actually have more availability of different venues to watch from and different fighters. And the first one I wanted to talk about, the first fight that the UFC has coming up that I wanted to talk about that they just put together recently was the Randy Couture and Brock Lesnar fight. Now, for those of you who don't know, Brock Lesnar's fought twice in the UFC, and Randy Couture is still under contract with the UFC. And I think that they're doing this, one, to boost people's liking for Brock Lesnar, because there's still some people out there that don't care for him too much. There's still those people that say he should go back to wrestling or WWE or whatever. That's on them. They can say what they want. I don't think this fight's going to change that opinion of them, of him, I mean. And as far as Randy's concerned, I think he's just kind of going with the flow to get out of contract with the UFC. I think they put this fight together to make a spectacle of this, to give Brock Lesnar a title shot after 2 fights. Seems very ridiculous to me. I don't understand how he can lose to Frank Mir, win to Heath Herring, who is a lesser fighter than Frank Mir, and yet Brock Lesnar's getting the title shot. If anything, they should give Frank Mir a title shot. I mean, Tim Sylvia's gotten, 3 or 4 title shots in the UFC now? Give Frank Mir a shot, Don't give Brock Lesnar a title shot just because you think it's going to be a fan-favorite fight. Give the person who deserves it a shot. I think they put it together just because it's 2 great wrestlers, and they want to see who's the better of the 2. Now, I'm not going to form any opinions until the event comes up, and I've seen what's going on with the 2 fighters, and get a little more insight as the event grows closer. But I will say this. I am totally against this fight taking place because I believe that they're doing this just to draw more fans to the UFC, rather than making it about the fighters and the true fans who know who deserves a title shot are getting ripped off because of this little spectacle they want to put together. The last fight that Randy Couture had was UFC 74 Respect, and it was against Gabriel Gonzaga, and you saw what happened there, I'm sure. The next up-and-comer just got pretty much, manhandled by the champion. And that's the problem is, you have these people who are, okay, so Gonzaga knocked out Crow Cop. Okay, so he gets a title shot because he knocked out a top name? No. There are people that have been fighting, 6, 7 times in the UFC, lost 1 or 2 of their fights, won the other 4 or 5, and don't get a title shot. I don't know what their thinking is as far as, who they give a title shot in the UFC. It's kind of ridiculous to me. Speaking of UFC 74, there is also a little less known fighter, I should say, named Renato Sobral, Babalu, who was released from the UFC for some and fined $25,000 of his purse for that event for not releasing a choke on David Heath. And the funny thing is you hear Dana White say, you know, they don't want that in the UFC and blah, 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 blah. And I understand that you suspended him, you know, for a couple fights or taken some money away from him. Some form of punishment is necessary there. But, you know, just cutting him out of his contract and letting him go like that, a little bit of abuse of power there, I think, in my opinion. Yours may differ, but whatever. So yeah, if any of you guys saw that fight, it was on the undercard. I think they played it at the end of the event when there was more time. But for those of you that saw that it was a blatant disregard for the referee, Steve Mascotti's command to release the hold or release the choke, and he did make him go unconscious. But seriously, I mean, it's not like there have been worse things. You got UFC fighters like Heath Herring, who knocked someone out before the first round even started, which, you know, they overlook. Apparently, you know, choking someone out during a match, after the referee, you know, calls for the bell, or calls for the hold to be released, I should say, is more severe than knocking someone out before the match even started, cold cocking them when they weren't even expecting it. But Heath Herring's still fighting in the UFC. I know he did that in Pride, but, you know, if Dana White doesn't want that in the UFC, then why did they sign him? Just a bunch of wishy-washy decisions that I think are going on here, and honestly, I'm starting to lose a little bit of respect for the UFC just because of this. And you know, Dana White and I aren't always going to agree, and I'm sure, you know, he's done a great job with the UFC, but there are some choices that he makes that are more geared towards making money than they are towards pleasing the fans that have stuck with him, that have helped build the UFC to what it is today. And I think that it's just amazing, and not amazing in a good way, amazing in a bad way, that he thinks that, you know, pulling new fans in by making these spectacle fights and making the decisions that he's making is going to be good for the company in the long run, because he's going to lose his original fan base that he had that helped his company grow. So, anyway, just my opinion on Dana White and what I think about him, and my thoughts on the UFC and what's been going on in there. I know those of you who are watching this are probably more UFC fans than fans of me. And those that are fans of me and are still watching this, well, I'm sorry I couldn't give you more about me. But UFC and MMA is a part of me, and it's, I mean, sometimes you just don't like what I say, then, well, I guess you can flip the video off. But anyway, I'll talk to you next time when I have more to say.